So really close. Really, really, really close.
You live?
Hey, y'all, hey. What we say this one with? I don't know. Hey! Hey, y'all, hey. I don't really have a voice. So. Oh, goodness. So what have you been doing? Well, right now I'm trying to share. So that's what I need y'all to do. Share, share, share. Sharing is caring. I can't share. Why do... Oh, my God. Well, right now I'm trying to share. So that's what I need. Why do... Ooh, that gum. Lord have mercy. Well, right now I'm trying to share. So that's what I need. I'm about to stick mine under my tongue. I was always acting retarded. Okay, now I can share. Okay, so as we are being obedient and we're sharing, we need you all to be obedient too and share. Oh my God. So, and we're also again making sure that our sound and our video is right. Again, apologize for the tardiness. Remember how I told you, I've been telling y'all my life is chaos, and it's very chaotic indeed. I got some situations going on that has just almost tried to knock the wind out of me. But God. But God. But God. Thank you, Father, for everything that you do. I definitely am in a season of trusting God. So again, that's one thing that I feel. Hang on, y'all. Let me spit this gum out. I can't do it. Here, take mine. Ugh. I like it, but not that much. I hope y'all heard that. I didn't want to spit mine out yet. Hold on, it still got some flavor to it, girl. Tell me what's your flavor. But when we talk on this podcast, that's one thing that I've always tried to be. Sorry, I was distracted by something. But I try to always be transparent. And a lot of times when people are in ministry or whether they're motivational speakers or in the forefront and they're trying to encourage people, a lot of times they come from a personal space. And so a lot of the things that I speak about and I talk about is coming from a very personal space because I've either experienced it, I know somebody personally that has experienced it, or I'm currently experiencing it. And so this is truly a season for me, really, really, really trusting God. Like in the midst of adversity, just really, really, truly trusting God. So like I said, I apologize y'all for tardiness, but I made it. But you're here. I made it. That's all that matters. I made it. You're here. I made it. You're here. Because I don't think out of I'm just going to say 300 views that we might get, 300 people do not tune in. So I don't feel too bad. I mean, I do feel bad for those that tune in at 7 and is waiting on us to, go into our live. But for the viewers, most of them, I don't feel like they don't see it until after the live is posted. Yeah, that's true. Because usually when we finish, it'll only be 100 views. And then within the next day, it'll go up to 300 or whatever number it goes up to. But it's true. But I still feel like we can't always be tardy for the party. So yeah, we probably have to discuss our times. But we got big things coming. Big things coming, new things popping. Is that how I go? Big things popping, new things coming. Yeah, that. So we might have to adjust the time anyway. Because, we might be superstars real soon. Girl, you better speak it, honey. Because, if we on that level or whatever, then I can have somebody like my personal assistant handle some of my business so I can see y'all on time. I'm like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this. Can you go ahead and phone my personal assistant? Or I'll just give my phone to my personal assistant and be like, here, you handle this. I like the sound of that. Yes.
And I did.
Because, baby, my head is banging right now.
You ain't taking nothing for your head?
I did.
Oh, what you take?
I took 1,000 milligrams of ibuprofen and 500 milligrams of Excedrin.
Don't listen to her. Girl, you gonna have somebody call 911. Why you taking all that?
And I took 100 something of metoprolol.
Okay.
But I do it all
a lot of drugs.
I do it all the time though. That's how I gotta get rid of these headaches. I do what needs to be done.
That sounds safe.
Girl, I trust God, honey, and I mean it.
It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe.
I trust God.
That's our next shirt.
No, but yeah, so we appreciate you all for tuning in. It looks like we have 4 or 5 viewers right now, so we will get to it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Also, again, we're asking, please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. YouTube, y'all, we on the struggle bus with YouTube, so we definitely need y'all to go over there and to subscribe, please.
Like,
please,
right after
please.
the live, go.
No, actually, you
YouTube.
can stop what you're doing right now, and you can actually go on over to YouTube now.
But they might miss something.
No, because we're live on YouTube now.
Are we really?
Yes.
I didn't know we can go live on YouTube.
Yes.
Girl, you ain't telling me that.
Yes, we're live on YouTube right now, so you can stop looking on Facebook, going over to YouTube.
Look at us.
Yeah, girl, it's been a few weeks. Where you been?
Try to keep up.
I know it's a lot to keep up, and like I say, our lives, we have so much going on in our lives, and it was almost to a point where I really didn't want to even do this today, because between my headache and just mentally,
I asked you.
I know, but I refuse, because I feel like once you break the cycle of that consistency, then a lot of times you start to slowly but surely lose momentum. And so I feel like as long as God granted me the grace to be able to make it, the show must go on. Because I say, and that's one thing, I try to live what I talk. Practice what you preach, Mr. Barry White. Practice what you preach. And that's how it is with me, is that unless I'm laid out and absolutely just physically cannot do it, I'm going to push myself, because I also know that this is also about encouraging others, and it's about ministry as well. So, I may be a little bit low on energy. I may be a little bit more quiet, but you know what? We still here. We still going to push through. We still going to give y'all a solid 45 minutes. Girl, we still got to perform for you. So that's what we're here for. But again, y'all, please make sure you go over 45 minutes. We don't want no minute, man. Don't nobody want a minute, man. Don't nobody want a minute, man. So, I ain't going to give y'all a minute. I'm going to give y'all 45 minutes. Right, we 8 minutes in. All right, here we go. Sorry, let me turn this off. That's so rude. That's what I'm saying. Where's my assistant? I need an assistant. Kingston, can you be my assistant? Answer my text messages. That was smashed out here. Oh my gosh. Okay. But anyway, so to recap on what we talked about last week, we talked about purpose and the new you. That was a really great conversation that we had. And how did you go with your life skill that you said that you were going to work on?
Girl, what was that?
You were going to refrain from using foul.
Girl. Yeah, we have to try again this week. Try again. Dust yourself off and try again. I'm going to try again. I mean, I started off doing well.
For how many hours? Just an hour? 2 hours?
Probably about an hour or two. Yeah.
Saints, is y'all praying for Sister Baby Minister, MIT Minister in Training, Sunshine Hope? Are y'all praying for her? Because y'all not praying hard enough.
Please do. Because the tongue can be,
yeah. I don't know. I don't think I said I was going to work on anything.
You did?
I don't think so. I don't remember. But we definitely encourage y'all to still take baby steps in working on things. So
that's all that matters. As long as you're trying, it's a process. Everything is a process. Nothing happens overnight. And I need to practice what I preach when I say that, because sometimes my patience can get so thin, and I'll be like, when is this gonna happen? And guess what? It don't happen when I want it to happen. So I just be hunting for nothing. It's what you call spoiled. That's okay. I can be spoiled.
Yeah. So today's topic
is transition. And it's funny because it's just so funny how God works and how God gets your attention when he really wants you to do something. I was scrolling through our notes before I go into the story of how we came to the topic, but I was scrolling through our notes today because she wanted a title or something to put on the captions or whatever. And transition was one of our very first topics. Like, we have this whole, and I'm just scrolling, and it's at the very top. And it's on there more than once in all different kind of ways. But Sunday, as I was getting ready for church, normally when I am getting ready for church, I put on my my gospel music. I have a whole playlist I already set up. It plays all the songs that I listen to every Sunday in an order constantly. So I go to my YouTube, I go get ready to click on my song, and your bishop is right there. Right there, front and center.
Glory, glory.
And I said, you know what? It was funny because I was joking with you saying, I need to come to your church in the morning.
Also, it was a joke? No. You was playing with my emotions?
No, it wasn't. I was saying I was going to come that fast, the Sunday to just fast. But girl, how do I get up at 7? Because
you always do.
I do, but when I be wanting a break, like I be wanting to sleep in sometime. I think I didn't got comfortable with.
That's it.
Going to church
at
11:30.
Say it. You done got what?
Comfortable.
Girl, it's the season of uncomfortability. Yeah.
Okay, so I was like, you know what? What better time to be at her church than right now while I'm getting ready for church?
Hallelujah.
So
Speak.
I clicked on his live, and because, of course, it was Easter, Resurrection Sunday, we talked about how Jesus died and rose again on the third day. He said transition.
Yes, he did.
And what did I do? I text this girl the topic. She was like, wait, what you say? My bishop is talking about that right now. Literally. I'm like, I know.
I didn't know.
Like a creep.
I know. That was the crazy part because I didn't even know. I was like,
I was trying to find you in the crowd so I could say, I like the dress you got on, or something creepy. But yeah, I was like, I know. I was like, I'm watching the live. I said, but it's crazy because I couldn't find my songs. Like, my songs was not there as in order as they should have been. He was right there. So I watched it. He talked about transition, and I had sat there and watched the whole sermon while I got ready for church. So that's what I'm gonna start with that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So let's get into it.
Let's get.
Come on, let's get into it.
Let's get it. That's what you hear that part.
Let's get into
it. Let's get into it. It just keeps doing that part. Let's get Ooh, that was so funny.
Tell me the word again.
Ecclesiastics 3:1 and 2
reminds us that change is a natural part of life and that season serves a purpose. We transition in death, we transition in careers, we transition in many things. But the Bible encourages people who believe in Christ not to view transitions as endings. You know what I'm saying? We all know that something has to die in order to grow or be renewed or to even have a closer and a better relationship with God. And he said, "For I am about to do something new. Do not be afraid nor discouraged." And transition also reminds us that our lives are not our own. So if you remember all those valuable key points that I just gave you, you'll be better off. So remember that your life is not your own, and transition is not endings.
Can I read the scripture for you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 3, number 1. For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill and a time to steal. And I'm reading out of the New Revised Standard Version. A time to a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to throw away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep, a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. And that is Ecclesiastes 3, 1 through 8.
3, 1 through 8.
Yep. So there's a time for everything.
And I can say that. I think for me, I've transitioned a lot throughout my life, especially being from where I am, snatched up to where I am today. Because, like I said, as a child, I was in and out of church. Like, I never not let church be a part of my life. And I didn't have any idea or any doubt in my mind that my kids was not going to be involved in church. Like, I wanted us to have a church family, a church home, do all the church things, church picnics, church bake sales, church Sunday dinners, church donuts and orange juice. Like, I've been to all kind of churches that did all different kind of things. So I always wanted me and my family to be a part of something like that. Especially when you're not close with your own biological family. Like, you have to find that comfort somewhere. I don't know, find people that you can trust. And I know a lot of times they say family is not always blood. So it's who you make family. But that tug of war with that, and then just being like the party girl. Like, I was a party girl, like big time party girl. Stay out all night, come home at 7 in the morning. Sometimes go to work at 9 in the morning, and just do it all over again.
And you know, I used to do that, but we did it in the church. We would be out.
Good.
We would be out all night.
I mean, as long as you did in the church, it was good stuff, right? What? Wait a minute. What kind of church you
go to? A fun church.
Obviously. If y'all was out kicking it like that.
Yeah, we was kicking it hard. No, so a lot of times, like, for instance, like one of our favorite places to go would be South Bend. So we would go to a concert, and a lot of times
concert.
Okay. And we would go, and sometimes it'd be like just a service, but like a service / concert type situation. So we would go and we would be in church until like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and then after that, then we would all go out to eat. You know, all the different young people, all, you know, from all the different places. We'd all meet up like at Denny's or IHOP or Waffle House.
Yeah, that's fun.
And so we would literally be out there until like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, depending. We start off in there eating, getting everything, and then we would transition into the parking lot, and we would be in the parking lot playing our gospel music, just, oh my God, acting up out there. And then we, of course, would still have to drive back home. And so, yeah, so I was a partier for Jesus.
That's
I was
good.
one of the saved ones,
Well,
for real.
Well, that's good.
But that's not everybody's story. So there was a little, fraternizing that would happen every now and again.
I cannot with you. Fraternizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my partying went like that. But
I did. Don't get me wrong. I used to turn. I went through a phase where I would turn up too, at the clubs and the kickbacks and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
And when I moved here, I thought I was gonna be doing the same thing. God said that ain't what I moved you here for. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. So I like I said, I started getting real bad anxiety, panic attacks in club in secluded areas. People were all on me, sweat touching me.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
That makes
or it be dripping. That's the part I don't like, is when it be dripping. Like, you don't feel that?
I don't care if it's dripping. Long as it don't touch me.
I don't want to see it drip. Like, wipe it. You don't feel it hanging?
So I started getting very, very uncomfortable. And then I just started doing like the bars. And then working at a bar, that of course got played out real fast. Because I'm like, okay, we do the same thing all the time. Men's coming here, pay for your drinks, get you drunk, think they're gonna take you home, et cetera, et cetera. And I was just like, yeah, no, this ain't it. So transition definitely took a toll on me in my life. And I feel like I'm still in transition. Like I'm still transitioning. Like it seems like every month or so I am in something new. Something is happening. Something is expanding. Something is growing. But then something also is dying. And some things I have to let go.
I think and I was sitting over here thinking, I'm just like, the question that comes to mind is like, how often should we be transitioning in our life? And then, and so I'm thinking, and I'm listening to you, and it's like, there are times, like if we think about when the seasons change, it's a consistent thing. Like every day something is happening. Like, and when you look at like how the earth, like the transitions and the different seasons come from the positioning of the earth, right? So the earth is constantly moving. So to me, it's like, should that mean that we are constantly transitioning? Like there's constant transitions. Absolutely. Especially if we take the scripture, we took the scripture, Ecclesiastes 3. Mm-hmm. Like it's a time to this, a time to that, a season for this, a season for that. And so as quick as seasons change, and going from one season to the next season, it doesn't happen overnight either. So it means it's something constantly, little bit by little bit, always changing. So that's what I was sitting here thinking. I was just like, man, that's powerful, because again, we as people, we don't like change. And we try to like for me, that's something that has been really, really hard with me, is like accepting change, and accepting that even though there is a lot of change, still within change, there still can be stability. Because I have always, for whatever reason, has interpreted no change as stability. Like, this is what it is. This is how it should be. But we're living in a day where it's a lot of changes constantly. And it's like, sometimes I feel like I can't keep up. But I think that we should embrace change. We should embrace transitions, because the outcomes of all of the transitions typically is goodness. Because I mean, the Bible says that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord. So if all things work together, then if there's a time to kill, a time to love, a time to hate, a time to die, a time to all of these things, then the outcome of those things are going to be for my good. You know what I'm saying? It may not feel good in the moment, but so embrace those constant changes. And to me, I always tell people, like, my most recent analogy for life has been like, it is a legit roller coaster.
Ooh,
You have your ups and you go really high, and you have your downs where you feel like your breath is being taken out of your body. You screaming like, oh my God, how much longer, how much longer? Foom, and then now you in a quick turn, a brief turn, and then now you just coast, and now you feeling that adrenaline run because, oh my God, I can't believe I made it through. And then all of a sudden, now you're creeping up, but you're gaining your breath, Boom, now you down and swift turn, you know what I'm saying? And to me, that's how life is, because at the end of it all, when the ride is over, you're like, oh my God.
Can you believe I went through this, and this,
yes,
and look where I'm at now.
Exactly. And so anytime people talk about life, it's like, life is legit a roller coaster. The only unfortunate thing is that the ride never ends until you take your last breath. And even then, if you believe in the afterlife, you just got onto another roller coaster. You onto another ride. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, transition is something that you should embrace. And if you're not transitioning, then you should be wondering what's going on. That means there's no movement going on in your life. And you should want the movement. And that's something that's also hard, is like, if we want to continue growing, if we want to continue getting better in life, there always has to be some type of movement, some type of growth. Like, I watch these really weird videos and stuff, like time lapses. I don't know why, but it's very interesting to me, like, these time lapses with like bacterias and funguses and mold. So what they'll do is they'll like put like a cup of apples, and they'll like have a time lapse of like the process of how long it takes for the apple to rot, or they'll put like just anything that it will eventually grow mold over time. And even though it's not naked to the eye, when you put like a close lens up to it, and you put light to it, and you speed up the process, if you have an apple sitting out for one day that's already cut open and all that kind of stuff, you can see the changes that it's made within that, within 24 hours. And
it's transitioning.
It's transitioning, even though the naked eye can't see it, because maybe, our sight is not that. But if you put something up closer, you start to see the mold is already starting to build. And so just being able to see those transitions, you know what I'm saying? It's always movement, whether it's good or bad. Because what also happens is, if there's no movement, then that's when complacency sets in. That's when you become comfortable with where you're at. And you're like, you know what? Ain't nothing going too wrong. Ain't nothing going too right. I'm just going to sit tight right here. And even though it feels good, because I ain't gonna lie, a lot of us are tired. I know I'm tired. I am so tired. I don't want to get into all of that, but
I'm tired.
I'm just really tired. I'm really tired. So when you do have those little pockets where nothing is going too wrong and nothing is going too right, you do want to just sometimes stay in that. But you don't want to. You really don't want to. Like, you want there to be
like that apple.
Yeah. Possibly rotting. Yes.
Rotting.
Yeah.
In that one spot.
Yep. So you gotta keep transitioning, keep the momentum, keep moving. Which is, again, that's why I say, like, today, like, I still had to come because I'm still physically able to do this. There's nothing that's keeping me other than my mindset. And so I refuse to allow my mindset to overcome what my yes, my obedience to God is. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah. 25 minutes, y'all.
That's how we did.
Yeah, we still gotta get another 20 minutes. Ooh, so got Sunshine Hope. Oh, okay. So, what are some types of transitions you've experienced in your life?
Like I said, becoming a mom. First of all, it was something that you said. If you watched any of our small clippings of us, we talked about transition was one of the things that we did first, before we even started the podcast. And one thing she said was you transition from being a child to a teenager, from a teenager to an adult, from adult to an old head. From an old head, you become a grandmother and things like that. And one thing I can say, this transitioning into an old lady, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm gonna tell you, if I can go back to 8th grade, I think I want to go back to 8th grade. Because guess what? I had no bills. I could sleep when I got out of school. I had no responsibilities. I mean, that was the best life. Borrow some money from your mom. Well, not even borrow. Can I have go to the store right across the street? I had a dream about the neighborhood, and I took my kids over there. Why did I have a dream about the neighborhood? And why did the neighbors still remember me as an adult? And I took my kids. They walked to the store across the street, and I pulled off and left them.
Oh my God.
And I said, where'd they go? But
Mama done left us.
But and the reason why I would rather go back, because even with getting older, your body changes, your mentality changes. Things that you used to like to do, you really don't have the energy to do anymore. And it could just be like, I guess, meant like a depression thing, but I don't think that. Like, nothing about me is unhappy. I'm not unhappy. I'm not sad.
And you know what?
I feel like I'm just old and tired.
You're uninterested. And so that's what I thought too. That's why for the longest I was like, I'm not depressed. I'm just uninterested.
Why could it be denial?
Denial. So what I've been learning is that it could be, it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we automatically think depression is just like sadness. But it's more than sadness. It's just like where the things that you used to like to maybe do that were not necessarily bad, like, you know, like maybe socializing. You're starting to become a recluse, and you kind of stay shy to yourself.
Yeah, because Easter I normally do it big. Like, I barbecue, I cook dinner, the kids dye eggs. Girl, look at the dye. It's still sitting right there on the counter.
Oh yeah, we didn't do anything either.
But I don't want to be like that. I just did not have the energy, and
that's what
mental they say. Is just like not.
You're at your capacity, and so it could be a lot of different things. But that's why I say, like, when I did the podcast about living in the moment, my depression wasn't like true sadness. It's just I just didn't want to be bothered. I don't want to be bothered. I want to just stay to myself. I want to be in this dark room. I just want to watch my TV. You're getting on my nerves. Like, everybody's getting on your nerves. Everybody's agitating you. That also are signs of depression as well. When you're uninterested in things that used to give you great joy, like for in a positive aspect. We're not talking about like, oh, I used to like going out and doing this and doing that stuff you shouldn't be doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about that.
That ain't that type of.
But like she said, like for Easter, she wanted to barbecue and cook a big meal and have an Easter egg hunt and do all these things. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you just are not interested. You just don't want to be bothered. But then also some of that could be stress related. The other thing is, like you say, it could also be, you know, turning into old age or be, you know, turning older. But that's what I learned about myself, is like, that's how I know when I'm like at my capacity, because things that I want to do, like last weekend, I wanted to go see Arnez J, which I usually never miss him. Like, since the first time I seen him when he came here, I was like, I will never miss him when he comes. I don't even care. But I missed him this past weekend. But I was just so overwhelmed with everything that's going on. I didn't even want to go laugh. now that's a problem. If I don't want to laugh, like that's an issue. You know what I'm saying? Um, so when it comes to things like that, it's like, like you have to really self-analyze and try to figure out, okay, is this depression? Am I wanting to sleep more than normal? And then just kind of like go down your little, like a mental checklist and see, basically checking in on yourself.
But I love to sleep.
I do too, girl. That's why a lot of times you be messaging me, I'll be knocked out. But here's the other thing. Also, sleep is a way of, is like a getaway as well. And so honestly, we should not really want to sleep that much or need to sleep that much. But the issue is we have put too much on our plates and our platters that we have like we get ourselves tired for no reason. Like some of the stuff we should not be doing. Like we should not be trying to do all of these things all in the middle of the day.
Oh, is that why you didn't respond to going to the Stanford Children meeting? For the third time I asked you?
No, well, so about that, I was trying to figure out how I'm gonna feel.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm like, how I was feeling in that moment, I didn't even know if I was, like I said, I really didn't even know if I was coming tonight. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I just don't want to be bothered. Like, I don't want to, I just, like, it's just so much. Like, all of these questions. Girl. It's like everybody under the sun. And I mean, it's a legit question. Do you want to go tomorrow or not? Like, it's a simple question.
Yes or no.
But, right. But I'm just like,
well, we don't have to, because the other lady said that she's exhausted. She's a mom too, and she has 4 kids, I think, and she says she's tired. So we're gonna reschedule for another day. And I'm actually, you know what? I'm tired. I just want to sleep tomorrow. It sounds bad.
How does it sound bad when we're human and we are literally running nonstop over here, over there, doing this, doing that? And then even if we are staying complacent, our phones are blowing up with situations that we have to try to put out. You know what I'm saying? Like our job is literally nonstop. And this is what I was trying to explain to this woman right here. Like, we as mothers have so much on our plate. And we, number one, we need time for ourselves. We do. We're not saying no. Yes, I am saying we need a whole day. Gosh, darn it, we need a whole day. No, but
more than a day. I think as many kids as you have, you need a day for each kid.
No, I need a week. No, for real. No, I do. I really do. But I'm okay with a day. Like, but I'm going to take my day every week. That is prioritizing me. Because again, as I've stated, and I don't want to keep like dwelling and speaking on it, because there's life and death is in the power of her tongue. But I'm tired, like a legit tired, like where I just want to disappear tired type situation. Like, I'm just tired because it's so much pressure constantly 24/7. Like everything is relying on me. And if God forbid, if I have one day that I just want to relax, like, oh my God, like I can't even relax because I still have, obligations and stuff like that. So, but again, that's a transition. That's all a part of transition in a motherhood. So it's like now that my kids are getting older, I'm trying to learn how to have a great balance, a better balance in the situation, where I can have that time to myself to be able to to kind of shut down, and because it's just too much. It's so much. It's just so much. But like you said, transitions into motherhood. But I'm telling you that it's okay that you want to sleep, but you also have to sleep, and you also have to take care of your body, because your body is going through some things right now. you're not 100% like where you need to be health wise. So until you get to that point, you may have to take some extra time to allow your body to heal itself. And who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody, and I was like, I literally feel like, I feel like, what do you call it? Like if the storm is coming and the power lines have been hit, and then they're like fizzing out like this. That's how I feel. Like I still feel like I'm like on fight or flight reflexes. Yeah, since Wednesday. Like I still haven't had a moment to like to breathe. I haven't. It's just constantly every day. It's been something. So like my fight or flight reflexes is just still going like that. Like
nerves.
Yes.
Your nerves.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. So like that's what I'm saying. It's like you have to. And what happens is like today I've been sleeping off and on, but my sleep hasn't been a good sleep. I would go to sleep and I'd wake up and I'd be back on 10. I got messages coming through, phone calls, this, that. I know, this, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a constant. And so I have not been able to, first and foremost, process what happened last week. I still haven't been able to process it.
So Monday, how was your Monday? Because I know Monday is your self time.
It was supposed to be, but it wasn't. We'll talk about that. Well, had some people come to the house and
that was Monday.
Yeah. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And then still trying to figure out, then I had other people calling me, asking me all of these questions and this, that, and the third. And so still, well, what are you going to do? Well, what about this? And that's like, I don't freaking know. Like, what? Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait. Let me get my feet together. Like, let me plant my feet for a second. Like, I just need a moment. And then, I don't have a lot of places I can just go outside of my home that I consider a safe place. You know what I'm saying? Like safe isn't like, girl, I don't. If I come over here, your kids going to be asking me questions and we're going to be doing TikToks and we're going to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like a quiet place where I can just like to a beach or to a spa. Like I actually considered having a spa day. And then I found out then it was lady time for me. So that made it far worse. So that's why I was still like this, because it was like my body was going through its changes, through its transitions. My spiritual person was going through transitions because I was in a battle. My emotions were going through transitions. So everything was just all over the place. And I did not have a place that I felt safe. Like I could just breathe. I couldn't. Because if I were going to my bedroom, constantly knocking on the door. Mom, it's Briella. Like, girl, okay, go play. Give me a...
Yeah, when she say your whole name.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's a lot, but again, as we talk about, like I say, we are very transparent in our process and what we're going through. And so it's just about navigating this roller coaster. And so to me,
you can't, because you're not even a driver.
You can, but that's what happens. Life is the roller coaster. We got on a ride called the roller coaster of life.
So who navigated
it? The roller coaster has already been built. It's already been made. So all it happens is as soon as you come out the womb, then you're on the roller coaster and play. And so now you
cannot deal with you right now.
What? What?
So as you come out the womb, then the roller coaster ride start when you come out.
Yeah. You asked a question, I gave you an answer. What, you don't think that's true?
I don't know. I guess it could be.
The roller coaster ride is life, and that's just, I mean, some things you can control, some things you can't. To me, the roller coaster ride, you can't control the roller coaster ride, but you can after you've been on roller coaster after time and time again, a lot of times you could control how you feel while you're on the ride. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, a hill is coming up, so you know, and you can brace yourself. Yeah. But if you've never experienced it before, you know what I'm saying? And then there's some people that they still, no matter how many times they've been up and down roller coasters, they still can't control themselves. They still passing out. You know, everybody has different responses to
still throwing up.
Yeah. You know, they have different responses to the roller coaster. So that's why I say, like, the roller coaster is literally your life. And it just depends on where you are in the roller coaster, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. I don't know. I just wish that we had more resources in the school systems that taught people, and even in the church, that taught on transitions and how to navigate through transitions. And that, first and foremost, transitions are perfectly fine. Like, you should enjoy going through transitions, because that means that something greater is on the way for you. A newness of life is coming your way. But we also have to take into consideration that in some transitions, again, there is going to be a negative or a bad moment within it. But if you keep persevering through those bad times, there will always be goodness on the other side of it. And I just wish that we were, you know, that was more emphasized, because I just feel like we have unrealistic expectations on life and how things should be and how we perceive things to be. It's not real in some cases. And so that's why a lot of us are struggling with transitions.
I think I've accepted transitions though in my life. Because I know when something very bad is coming, something very good is going to come out of it. You know how some people post, oh, a major setback for a major comeback? That's really was my motto forever. Like, oh, I just got set all the way back. But then it's like you take 10 steps forward and then something else happens.
Mm-hmm. So and sometimes it feel like you're not going forward. So like you feel like you're going forward, like you say, you take 10 steps forward and then you get knocked 50 steps back. So you not you still
exaggerating. Don't do 50.
Okay, 40. Okay, 20.
You get knocked how far? You going how far up though? How far you going up?
10.
Okay, you get knocked 15 steps back. You don't get knocked all the way back like that. You can't even allow yourself to get knocked all the way back like that.
But it happens like this sometimes.
Sometimes. So
that's how I'm talking real. Maybe you don't feel like that, but I do.
No, I don't think I get knocked.
Cause I feel like
I get knocked back, but I don't.
Cause I look at my living situation where I was before, and now look where I am.
Girl,
that was like that literally almost knocked the wind out of me. Again, I'm grateful because we still have a nice place to live. It's still safe. We're still in a great neighborhood. It's still beautiful out there. You know what I'm saying? It still has the amenities that I desire. But in the same token, it's like, yeah, where my house?
Exactly. How do you think I feel? I went from a house to an apartment.
Me too.
I ain't want to be in no apartment.
Me neither.
Especially not no 3-bedroom apartment with that little piece of patio that they gave me.
Girl, look, you could have 15 people laid out here. That's how big. Me, I can only have 2 people laid. You got space. I don't have space. Got about
15 couches in there. That's why.
Girl.
We got about 15 couches in there. That's why I ain't got no space. But transition is really all about growth. It's just change. But you know what? It took a very long time for me to understand that death was a transition. And like how people perceive perceive it that way because I never could. I mean, as an older person and becoming more into Christ and learning more about the Bible, I guess I could see uh death of a loved one as a transition, but I mean, I thought everybody transitioned at the same time. Brother, we live. Call back.
Yeah. I don't want to say I'm looking forward to that transition, but I am.
What transition?
To the afterlife.
Oh my God. Okay. Time to cut the podcast.
No, for
We do
real.
appreciate you guys so much for tuning in.
No.
Why are you talking about death?
Because you just brought it up.
No, I said I didn't like the fact that people use death as a transition.
But it is.
How?
Because you're going into another phase, another phase.
What phase?
The afterlife.
What's in the afterlife?
You gotta find out.
I gotta find out when I transition?
Yes. I mean, if you study the word and you believe the word of God to be true, then the first transition is you're going to sleep. You're going to a state of rest until God comes back, until the apocalypse happens and all that kind of stuff, in the Bible happens. And then everybody's going to be gathered up. And then there'll be a new heaven and a new earth, right?
Okay, so yes, I understand. This is just flesh. My soul is what really matters.
Yeah.
When my soul leaves the body, my soul is transitioning, not my flesh.
So that's a transition in itself. You're splitting apart.
Right.
That's a transition all by itself.
I'm leaving my flesh behind.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about that?
No.
So here's the thing. So I'll be watching stuff like I'll be watching stories about people that have died.
X-Files.
I used to watch that.
I like X-Files. I used to like Roswell, the old one, not the new stuff. I don't know what that is. I liked Supernatural. Then it just started getting weird.
Yeah, they're weird. But I used to watch where people would die and they would end up either going to heaven or going to hell. And when you listen to their stories, it's interesting how they say that when they when their soul left their body, and then when their body went back into, when their soul went back into their body, it felt heavy. And they said that our bodies actually are like these heavy wetsuits that's holding us down.
That sounds disgusting.
That's so
a heavy wetsuit.
Yes.
Okay, I want to tell you guys what happened to me. I don't know how many minutes we got, but I feel like this is a story that I should share. And if anybody got any information on it, please let me know. I feel like right now I am okay. That was a while ago. I think
you got 30 seconds.
Alyssa was 2.
No, I'm just playing.
I think Alyssa was 2. What's that? 2014. I'm gonna say it was 2014. I was working at Cricket Wireless. I was a key holder.
Come on, Cricket.
So I'm at the store and this lady comes in there and she's all upset. She's all upset because she's a prophet and she does all this traveling all over the world, and she goes and pray over people and prophesies to people and this and this and this. And for whatever reason, she wanted her money back because she paid her bill and she couldn't call out to, I don't know, Uganda somewhere. I don't know. And I'm like, well, we don't do returns on your bill. You can't get a refund on something that you already paid for a cell phone. So, oh my God, she just kept going on and on, going off how the company Cricket sucked and this and this and this. Anyhow, long story short, she decided she was happy with us again. She wanted to be my friend. and she wanted to prophesize over me. Oh my God. When I showed my mama those pictures, she was livid with me. Because from what I experienced and what I can remember and what the pictures look like, she had put me in a state of non-movement. And they were
like hypnosis?
Yes, but I was slumped over. So I was bent over, like this being my body, my back arched over, and my legs standing up. So I was slumped over like this.
Yeah.
And I could hear somebody calling my name, but it sounded like, you guys, it sounded like I was like off into the roof. Like I was so far away. They sounded like they were so far away, but I could see my body slumped over, and I could see her saying whatever she was saying to me. Looking at those pictures, it looked like, I guess I was dead. I was standing up dead because there was like no movement in my body. My body was in a stiff mode. And I remember telling the McMullen, Joy, that happened to me. And she was like, yeah, you got to be careful with that type of stuff, because some people practice witchcraft and all that. But she had shown me this binder. She had this binder, and she had all these people laid out on the floor.
She could be a spiritualist.
But after that day, I felt so weird. And I felt like that for like months.
Yeah.
Like my body just didn't feel like it was my body.
Yeah, she probably was trying to control it. Or had some type of control over it. Or was trying
to. She definitely had some control. If she made me go mute to where I couldn't hear. And I don't even know what she said to make me wake up. But I could literally hear her, but it sounded so far away.
Yeah. She was trying to do something in the spiritual realm with you. But it could have also been because of where you were already spiritually. She had a hard time trying to really
do whatever she was trying to do.
Penetrate, yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And they had took pictures. It was 2 ladies that was there.
And they were there with her?
They were there with me. I had 2 other workers there with me.
What did they say?
They was the ones taking the pictures.
No, but what did they say about how everything was happening?
They was just looking in shock. Like even when I came to,
were they Caucasian?
One was black and one was a white girl. Yeah,
that's scary.
Yeah, but they both, when I came to, they both was looking like,
I know.
Scared, like,
I would too.
And then they like, are you okay? Like, what's next? Like, should we call 911? Like, what? I was like, I feel fine, but that was weird. Like,
you better get Jesus on the main line.
That was like 2014. I think I'm okay. I hope I'm the same person I was that day, and not she didn't trap somebody else's soul and switch my soul with somebody else's. So don't never let nobody prophesize over you ever.
She was doing more than prophesying,
especially if you go into a trance like that,
because prophecy does not take you into a trance.
It does not.
Prophecy is just a word of a word from God
that gives you to relate to somebody else
about the future.
Yes,
or about something that is going on in your house. Going on in your life.
He has given me visions of stuff and people and situations, but yeah, that was crazy for me. So if anybody know what that's called, let me know, because I've been wanting to know what that's called for the longest.
I mean, it sounds like she did have you in a state of hypnosis, but it wasn't hypnosis, because hypnosis is typically like where people just put you into a cold sleep, a deep sleep where and then you could like your soul, your spirit travels.
And I think that's what was happening. But like I said,
I think that what she was doing, it sounds more like witchery. What she was doing, like witchcraft. That's crazy.
Yeah. Scary stuff.
Yeah.
And she was dressed in all white, which made it even more scary. She had a white headband, a white sheep cloth over her.
Sheep cloth.
Yeah, she was a black lady.
Ooh.
I mean, they probably want a sheep cloth. I'm just saying like a That's how I remember her.
No, it might have been
a black older lady. She had her white head wrap thing
Sound like
on.
a witch to me.
But after she came in there and did all that extra stuff, I was looking at her like, and you want me to? I think she told me she wanted to pray over me. I should have said no, thank you.
Thank you, but no thanks. So, what is our life skill?
I don't know. Is you gonna do the life skill?
No.
Coco, you don't supposed to say that on the live.
Well, why you ask me on live?
The life skill for this week would be let something die.
Hold on.
Something.
That's girl. You be coming up with all these hard things.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say try something new.
But even with that, no, with transition, something has to die.
Not necessarily. You can just leave it behind. You ain't gotta
letting it die. Let it burn. Does that sound better? Let it burn. When the feeling ain't the same in your body, don't want you. I'm gonna say let old habits die. But we pretty much talked about that the last song.
That's why I say try something new.
Like what?
Something new. Go try a new activity. Go hiking. Go
Would you go hiking?
Heck yeah, girl. I love like Turkey Run. Oh, I can't wait till the weather get nice, honey, because I'm gonna be out there.
So do you go camping?
Yes, I would. I haven't been in a long time, but I would love to go camping.
I ain't never been camping, and I would love to go camping as well. But I think once it gets like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock ish, I'm gonna pack all my things up and I'm gonna head back to the crib so I can get a good night rest. Cause I ain't ready to sleep outside. That's not happening.
So then you don't want to go camping.
I do want to go camping. No, you don't. I don't want to sleep outside.
You don't have to sleep outside. You can get a little RV camper and sleep in the camper since you are not a really camp meister. But some of them tents is fire. And then you get all kind of, like little bug things and put all your stuff around so that the bugs don't come in. You zip it up tight, whatever. You'll be all right. I think we should do that.
Try something new. I don't know what I can try new.
It could be like try a new food space, like transition. Try something new. Try a new budgeting plan. Try a new time management skill. Try maybe a new TV show. Try a new hairstyle. Try
I'm gonna try
a new fingernail color. Try a new method for self-care. Like you could try any it could be anything. Just try something new.
Try something that's gonna help you transition. Like, whatever.
That's whatever she say. Whatever she say.
Try something new. I think I'm gonna try. You know what? I'm still not.
What you about to say?
So I was going to put in my phone a set time so my alarm can go off when it's time for me to take my meds. I ain't done it yet.
Do it right now.
I'm sharing the live.
You do it right now.
I'm sharing the live.
Yeah, but you can still do it right now.
I'm sorry to do it.
You could do it on your phone.
I'm sharing the live.
You already shared it. You don't have to share it again. I got it right here to make sure we still live, so we good. So go ahead and program your phone. Show the people that you being obedient. What you telling them to do. See, that's what you get.
So what's okay? So
no,
listen to me.
Set it first, and then I'll listen.
Okay, so when I take those vitamins,
you got got to do it on a full stomach.
Right. So when am I supposed to take it on a full stomach? I'm going to at the same time every day.
So, like, maybe the best time for you is to do it at lunchtime.
I try to, and I still forget. Like today, I didn't take it. I haven't took my medicine yet.
So, I mean, but that's something that you, like, setting a timer for whatever your lunchtime is and just making sure that as soon as you eat, you do it. So carry your medicine with you.
I do in my lunch bag and still don't.
Ooh. Okay, so I'm gonna try something new.
Okay.
I'm gonna text you meds. I'm gonna treat you like a RN. Like
no, I'm
putting
it in the phone. I'm putting it in the phone.
And then also something that's good to take with your vitamins is to drink it with juice.
What you mean?
So like if you take your medicine, do like apple juice or
not water.
I mean you can, but I always do juice because they say it helps absorb a little bit better.
I was this on this. Okay. I set my timer to take my medicine.
Woo! Let's give it up for Sunshine Hope, y'all! Woo! Woo! So we're trying something new. Y'all, we elevating too. Like I say, we doing this also for the sake of us because we trying to be better too. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. I need to get on the schedule because I be all over the place. But I've been all over the place. So that's what I'm saying. Chaotic life and I can balance my chaotic life. I'm being on a schedule because that's not what I'm used to.
Right.
I'm used to like
we're not doing that.
With the home no because you about to be a wife. You
for real.
You about to have
he gonna be like, girl, if you don't or he gonna be looking at you like going like this.
He probably already looking at me like that. He probably already
like, what is she doing?
Because I saw like, why are you looking at me like that?
See?
What?
See?
What?
Men like structure. I'm speaking from experience. You know,
this right here.
Your girl, hold on. Your girl was married for 8 years.
Okay.
So I know how to make it do what it do.
You should put in the work if you did 8 years.
I didn't want to lose my life.
Oh, well then don't put in the work.
It turned a little violent, so I had to.
Okay.
Exit left.
Okay.
To the left. But no, yeah, men like structure. They like order, and so you could still have chaos in the midst of your order. I mean, you can still have chaos in the midst of also having structure.
I want to have chaos. But there's gonna be chaotic.
I mean, you're going to because first and foremost, you got a blended family. You know what I'm saying? So you're always gonna have that. But if you have the basis of like, okay, here's this block. So I have
a transition coming from being a single mom to doing stuff your way. How you been doing it? How you taught yourself in survival mode to becoming a wife to somebody who's already been married. So we probably
And I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait.
It's for the wedding.
Huh?
What you can't wait for the wedding?
No, I can't wait till y'all married.
Why?
Because I want to see how you adjust.
Like a mad woman?
Yeah, probably. That's it. You'll be like, today's podcast, we're going to talk about, like, girl, what's wrong? Nothing. Everything is fine. Hold on, Ruben. I got you. Like, you're going to be tweaking.
I don't want to be like that.
Girl, you're going to have to adjust. That'll be beautiful. But no, it's a transition. So, yeah. That bachelorette has to go. You hear me? She's got to go. Because he done put a ring on it. Don't be sitting there thinking to her. You will never swallow that hard. See, that's right. That's right. You need to choke. You should never be swallowing that hard. That bachelorette got to go. But yeah, y'all, we made it. We made it 1 hour and some change. I don't know how we did it. My headache is pretty much gone for the most part, so thank God for that. And she did have to call 911 on me, as I told her she would not. I'm fine.
Before you leave, sit for an extra 15 minutes so I can check your blood pressure. And
you got a blood pressure?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool.
And that concludes our episode number 7.
Woo! Hallelujah!
Dedication.
Man, the number 7 means completion. And number 8 is new beginnings. Oh, I didn't tell you. So one of our another one of our things, excuse me, we're no longer going to do seasons. We're just going to do episodes.
Okay. So
that's another transition. But no, we appreciate it. Don't forget to share it on your Instagram, your Snapchat, everything. Send it to somebody you think maybe needs to hear this inspiration. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, as well as we are on Spotify as well. So we thank you and we love y'all. Good night.
Because I gotta hold this so you go.
Somebody laughing at us.